Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of Business Breakthroughs. I'm your co-host, Chris Angel, and here with your host, Michael Millay and Andrew Honigsfeld. Hello, guys.
Hello again.
Do you ever want me to swap the order? I always say Michael because Michael on my screen, you're first. But does that make you upset, Andrew?
I wasn't until now.
Is your ego like just on fire right now?
Yeah. No. I'll make it.
I am so mad. All right, good. Oh, well, speaking about being mad, I think a lot of people. I'm
so mad the light turned out.
A lot of people in their careers can get mad when they start to carry the load of their work. And I think I've definitely been there. But I think it's easy to get into the responsibility of work and stop enjoying work or stop having fun. So I know you guys have perspective on how to have fun and enjoy our work again. So take me through it.
Yeah, I mean, I think if everybody saw the last task, we talked about the three important parts of a job.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What are the three parts that make up a
hit
job?
That last episode. Yeah.
And so I won't go back through it again because what I'll say is go watch the last one if you're curious about that.
Right.
But part of how you enjoy your job is actually just realizing and being honest with yourself about what part of the job you want to do. What are the things that if you could do those all day, every day would be perfect for you?
Really
and good. You know, an example from myself, right, just happened, I don't know, let's say 2-3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking up co-working spaces for us to talk at.
Mm-hmm.
And around me, there were, I think, about 50 co-working spaces within the mile range that we chose. And from there, I was going to need to get the names of all of the people, like the contact people, the email addresses, the actual addresses, the phone numbers. And for me, I looked at it, I started to do this, and I was like, this is going to take me several hours.
Yeah.
And I'm going to move slowly on this because I don't like doing this.
Yep.
So what should take 2 would take me 5. And B, I don't like this. Right. And I can go, there are tons of different places to go where you can hire somebody to take on a task like this for $30, $50.
Right.
And I know that that's spending money, and oftentimes it's spending money that you don't think you have. But if you take that 5 hours and you get to apply it to something that is in your wheelhouse and does light you up, that has the higher chance of making you money than spending the 5 hours that you didn't need to spend because it could have been 2 or 3 doing something that's just going to drain everything out of you, the energy, the effort, because after those 5 hours, you're going to be done working for the day.
I feel like there's 2 things you're pointing to. Sorry, Michael, do you want to go?
Yeah, that was actually the thing I wanted to dovetail in was how many hours would you need to recover from doing that for even 2 hours, let alone 5 hours? Because knowing you, Andrew, after 3 hours of doing something you'd hate, you'd be like, oh, dear God, I need a 5-hour break. And then maybe get to it at night and then wake up the next day all messed up because you were up way too late trying to get this thing you hated done. And then
it's good because
that's like essentially if you could pay someone $30 to do that for 2 hours, it's like, cool. So you just paid $30 to have a whole day back, essentially.
Well, and then some. And then some. Like, that's really the important thing is, like, it's not just the day that you lose, but it's the day that you get to be doing work inside of your strengths as well. So you're essentially getting 2 days out of one just by eliminating that task that you hate or that you know is just going to drive you nuts.
I hear 2 things in here, right? One is on the front end, it's being really self-aware of what are you good at? What are your strengths? What do you love? What is your genius, right? And then in the background of it is the limiting thinking or limiting beliefs around money, probably scarcity. I think for a lot of people goes $30. I could just knock this out myself. I'm not going to pay somebody $30 or whatever. And I think this is the double bind. This is the impossible position we find ourselves in. We're like, yes, I love the idea of spending more time inside the things I'm good at, but my limiting beliefs won't let me go take action on that because I'm stuck in scarcity.
So 2 things really quick.
Yeah.
How much would you pay to get an extra day out of the week?
I don't know. That's hard to answer.
Like How much would an extra day each week be worth to you?
Yeah, a lot. Can I say it like that?
More than
I don't know how to quantify that.
Probably guess.
I don't know how to quantify that.
And that's exactly like actually what just happened here is the perfect example is people aren't clear on how much money getting an extra day of work is worth to them.
Good.
And for me, I figured out it's at least greater than $30.
But good for you.
But no, but like, you know, it really is like if you can know how much each day is worth to you.
Yeah.
Or even hour.
Yeah. You can actually start to look at like, well, if this day is worth, I'll just use my example. Sure. An extra day is worth $30 to me. So, okay, if the task is $30 or less and I don't like it, give it off. Find a way to spend the money. But the second thing actually behind that is why I focused on that you get actually 2 days for the price of one is because when I'm doing the work that excites me, I'm still doing work.
Right.
I'm still looking for how to, you know, get more clients or all of that, the same as the task, only I get to do it my way.
Right.
And at the end of the day, the presenting at those co-working spaces, I'm going to enjoy that task.
Right.
It's researching and finding the co-working spaces that I don't enjoy. So why should I not do a task or not get to present in front of co-working spaces? Because the tediousness of the task would take me forever to get done.
Right.
And so spending this $30, right, could potentially make us a lot of money. And so there's always that balancing what you spend and what you're going to get back from it. Obviously, if you don't think you're going to get at least $30 worth of value from it, then don't spend the money.
Right.
But
so,
go ahead.
3 different things that we're going to go into. I just realized. So just like for those of you at home, write these down and listen for them coming up. So the first one is what is your highest money making activity? Like what do you do that earns you the most amount of dollars per hour? And then being able to compare that to whatever task you have coming up that you don't like. Is it actually worth equal to or more than that?
Yeah.
The second thing to look at, and I want to cover in this, is the difference between the title that you feel you have in your company and the tasks that you have. And this is something we've kind of covered and touched on, but this is so key to people's happiness, and they overstep it so much of the time because they think they want the title because they like the title and they like the prestige and the importance and all of that. Andrew is, and like we're joking about it because Andrew does actually, like, it fulfills a need for him to actually have the title, and that's something he knows about himself, so it actually gives him power because he owns that aspect of himself, which goes back to your self-knowledge.
Yeah, that's not operating inside a default.
Yeah,
so I actually get to choose the title or that level of fulfillment, and I understand what it's what that's fulfilling on is really the way to say it.
Right. Whereas for me, I could be called Joe Schmo McSchmo in our company. It's
a great title.
And
it's one I'm thinking of giving him.
We're gonna add it to your business card.
Yeah. And like for me, it wouldn't faze me at all. And it's just different approaches that we have. But then on the flip side, the reason why Andrew, who is very much more concerned with the title, is very valuable in so many situations when like we're going to present and stuff, is because he's very clear on what creates legitimacy for people, what creates their listening. So why would I deny him the opportunity to fully utilize that gift? And so for me, I empower him inside of that. And what we're actually pointing to, though, is like so many people in their businesses want to be CEO, but then you look at the tasks of being CEO in their business and they're like, Yeah, I want to do like 2 of those things. Okay, which 2? The one where I'm called CEO and the one where everyone listens to me.
Because I'm CEO.
Right.
And it's like, well,
yeah,
you might want a different CEO, and you might want to just be on like the president of board of directors or something, and more manage that the CEO gets all of that stuff done and make sure the CEO listens to you.
Right.
And like a brilliant example of this is Gary Keller. Like brilliant. I think that this is actually like probably the biggest genius move in that entire book and the most valuable lesson to learn in that entire book. The Red Book Millionaire Real Estate Agent.
We've
talked about it before.
Yeah.
And that's applicable to any business.
Right.
Which is he actually removed himself as being CEO of his company when they had 2 offices, I think. Yeah, let's say 2 offices, and it might be 5, it might be 2, whatever. But and he did that in like 91 or something. And it's what actually allowed Keller Williams to become the company it is today, because he was clear that he wasn't the right person to grow it in the way that it needed to be, because he looked at the tasks that it would take.
Yeah.
And he went, oh, wow, I hate 90% of these.
Right.
Or 90% of these just aren't in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So why don't I get someone who's actually good and empowered inside of all this stuff? And then I get to stay in my zone of genius, which is much more about creating the systems, creating the structures, looking at the structures, fulfilling on that, the inspiration inside of all of that. And that allows him to then be fully utilized inside of his genius in the company while also fulfilling on his goals for the company.
So I feel like if we bring it back to the how to enjoy work, what we're really saying is like you've got to be present to or aware of what it is that you really enjoy. And if you can be honest about that, it's going to leave you with a list of things you don't enjoy. And that's where the courage kicks in, because you're going to have to at some point go, okay, this is the list I know I don't like. And now it's time for you to step up to the decision you have to make in order to grow while still enjoying your work.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the part of it is that's why like a couple episodes back, we were talking about the unconscious pain.
Right.
Because so many people operate throughout their day dealing with the stuff that they have to.
Right.
And that in and of itself is a source of so much unconscious pain.
Yeah. Yep.
Whether people will admit it or not, it's kind of irrelevant.
Right.
But as the mirror's held up and as they look further and further at that, there's people that they know who are doing the exact same thing or in the exact same business who are way happier than them. And they can't understand why.
That's a perfect place. I want to wrap there because that's a perfect place for those of you listening. If what you're missing is the mirror being held up, right? Like what you've seen other people, your peers doing the work and enjoying it. And you're like, there must be something wrong with me. I just don't enjoy this. Then what you're missing is the mirror. You need the mirror to be held up. And what these guys do is that not only do they hold the mirror up, but they help you start to get the business you dream of, the life you dream of, by just simply making some simple decisions along the way with how you build out your business. So guys, if people want to reach out to you, where can they go?
Well, let's have them go to myperfecthire.com and they can book a session with us to have a conversation.
I love it. This is good stuff, guys. And listen, I know we can keep going. We could go on every one of these episodes. We could go like 20 minutes more, but the good news is for those of you listening, guess where we get to put all those great ideas? We put them out into future episodes. So thanks for tuning in. Guys, thanks for your wisdom and expertise, and we'll catch you next time.
You bet. Talk to you then.